Now tune into the biggest ever. YMCMB, Tunchi Lee, Young Angel, Young Lion, man. Y'all boys get on the track with Onika Mirage and y'all still dying, man. What's up? We in this bitch. This ain't gonna be the first time that I do numbers on 2 crutches. Seen more plaques than 2 brushes. Until I'm at the pearly white gates, I gotta move something, do something. All meetings happen in person, so they can't prove nothing. No,
let's get ready to rumble!
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's going on? It's your boy Ryan Fraser, and I'm back with another one. Boxing talk up north, man. It's been a eventful day in the boxing world. Matter of fact, the last 48 hours have been crazy, man. I mean, we had the Tank press conference. We had the Turkey Al-Sheikh, the big announcement for the card in February. And then I'm looking forward to this weekend, man. There's some good fights this weekend. Obviously, Oscar Valdez and Navarrete are fighting. Definitely the rematch. Hopefully, it won't end like the first one. And potentially fight of the year, man. Rozicki, Espinoza too. That first fight was amazing. This one, I'm gearing up to see. I can't believe that Rozicki took the fight, but he's showing that he's a G. And then we got the Liam Paro and Richard Hitchins in Puerto Rico, which is kind of weird, but that goes to show you, man. Matchroom thought Sabril Matisse was gonna beat Liam Paro, and he came and stole the party and stole the fans, man. Now he's headlining against Richard Hitchins for that IBF title at 140, and it's gonna be a good weekend, man. Good weekend. You know, where are we gonna start? Let's start at top with Navarrete, Oscar Valdez, man. Who needs this win more? I mean, Navarrete is coming off a loss. I believe Valdez is coming off a win. So, you know, Navarrete, he moved up in weight, though. So he's moving back down. He's had weight problems in the past. So I wonder if that's going to be an issue in this fight. I'm not too sure, man. I'm not too sure, to be honest, because Navarrete probably is a more natural 30-pounder than he is 35-pounder. So I think him getting back to 30 is going to definitely help. And he's definitely going to, you know what I'm saying, he's going to get back to trying to be a force at 130. You know, he had the WBO title. He moved up to 35, tried to get the vacant title. And he fell short against Dennis Branchek, who is another great fighter in his own at the 135-pound division. He's a WBO champion right now, fighting out of Ukraine. You know, those Ukrainians, man, they know how to fight, man. And Dennis Branchek is a champ. But Oscar Valdez has got to win this fight. Like, let's be honest here. The rematch, Oscar Valdez, he's got to go in this fight and win it. We got to try to get this trilogy going. But I just don't know if he's got enough pop in those punches. And I feel like Oscar Valdez, like, I don't know even if he's got enough skill to beat Navarrete. Like, Navarrete is a big puncher, man. I think my problem with Oscar Valdez is, he's just, you know what I'm saying, he's just one of those guys that just good. I don't know if he could be elite or be a champ. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's past his best years. And that's crazy saying because I think Oscar Valdez is still a young fighter. But let's check these comments here. Shout out to Javante Davis fanboy. Tank would destroy Branchek. Well, you know what? I wish Tank would unify. Shout out to Round One Sports Talk. What's going on, my guy Edwin? What's going on, brother? Tank is the mini Mike Tyson, eh? Yeah, don't worry. We're going to talk about Tank, man. Yeah, I'll drop the link in the chat for my guy Edwin just in case he wants to jump in. Sorry, we're talking about Navarrete Valdez. Yeah. So we got the rematch headlining in Arizona. Down south. You know, there's hopefully a lot of Mexicans come out and watch that. It's gonna be a great event, man. But I'm looking forward mostly to the co-main. Should be the main event. Obviously, they're being foreshadowed by Valdez and Navarrete because they have the bigger names. But man, Espinoza and Rozicki. Yo, can Robesi get his title back? I know a lot of the cats around the boxing world are saying that Robesi can do it. I don't think so, man. I think Espinoza, they say when you become a champ, your confidence gets bigger. You get more confident. Espinoza is already physically like way bigger than all those guys at 126. Like this guy's 6'1". I don't even know how he makes 126. Like he's the Sebastian Fundora of 126. And his last fight, he was fighting with confidence, man. He was putting a lot of those punches together. He showed pedigree in that last fight. So I mean, shout out to Espinoza, man. He looks like he has improved, but nonetheless, like Robesi, he's got that Cuban background. He's got that Cuban amateur style. He's a great fighter, Robesi. He's gonna come out and he's gonna swing, man. He's gonna come out. He's going to put his best foot forward. I mean, he lost his title to this guy. So it's only right that he comes out, man. And, you know what I'm saying? Does his thing. Puts in work, man. This guy, snap. He said Javante Davis fanboy said Tank would destroy Espinoza. I don't know, bro. I don't know about all that. What's going on, my guy Edwin? Round 1, Sports Talk.
How you doing?
In the building. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, man. I wasn't even going to go on tonight. I had a little situation at the house with my grandfather. He ended up getting his hearing aid stuck in his ear.
Oh, no.
And yeah. So I was a little bit of stuff. So I just got back. My wife is coming back from the hospital now, too. So, yeah. So then I came on and I saw you on and talking about some of these big fights in the last 48 hours and how boxing is really showing, that they can put together some of these fights. The Saudis putting out this big card. We have some good fights coming up this Saturday. And before we get into those fights, if you don't mind, I just wanted to touch on one thing. Sonny Edwards fight and what took place in the corner. And we all saw, that's a moment where that a lot of people will see that and take it a lot of different ways. But what I saw was a fighter that, when we talk about when a ring announcer will talk about and say, that beating that he took is going to affect him in his career.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes, it's not necessarily so much the beating, but just the fact that you lost. I've seen guys take a loss and mentally in their heads, they're still great fighters. They just, they can't, overcome that, and that's athletes. Sometimes they allow doubt to creep in. Sonny Edwards allowed doubt to creep in his mind. He wasn't sure of himself. That beating that he suffered from the hands of Bam Bam Rodriguez, it showed that it carried over into the next fight. And the reason why I bring that up is that we're going to see that from some of the guys that took losses and so unquote losses like Devin Haney with Ryan Garcia. How does he respond from that mentally?
Yeah.
We can all talk about the situation. Okay, fine. You could say arguments, cool. But none of these people are Devin Haney. None of these people are in his head. How is he going to respond? And it was just an interesting thing to see. I don't think Sonny Edwards is finished, but that was something. That was a moment where that sometimes fighters they doubt themselves and they don't realize that all athletes go through this in their life and kind of like stutter. It took George Foreman 10 years at the age of 45 to realize he wasn't finished. Had he believed in himself at the time, people get to this certain point and they're like, I'm finished, I'm done. No, your body's going to stutter for a second. You got to kick it up that notch. Shave off stuff off your bite, your fighting style, not so much movement, conserve energy, fight smarter, more efficient, things like that. Yeah. The fighter has to get over that, that mental hurdle, and it just goes to show.
That was tough to watch for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Sonny's done, bro. I think the fire's
Yeah.
gone. I think that's what he was trying to tell his coach is like, I don't love this no more. I don't like it no
Yeah.
more. I
Yeah.
think when
He
you
didn't
get
want
to
to be
that point, you get to that point, it's kind of like you should call it quits, man, because you're gonna get hurt in there eventually if you keep coming in there for the wrong reasons. Now you're just fighting for money.
there. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he announced retirement. I mean, Sonny had a good career. I mean, he was a champ. Like he ran into Bam. Yeah, Bam was trending up when he ran into him. But he
Yeah.
had a good fight after Bam. He fought after Bam, and he had a good win. So that's why I kind of thought, he brushed it off.
Yeah.
But these young guys, it seems like these young guys at that weight are just coming through right now at the right time,
Right.
and he sees it. He probably sees it writing on the wall. He doesn't want to be a journeyman.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do
He's
you
gonna
think
be
about the situation with Ortiz and so many names thrown his way in the last 48 hours? He's been fighting Jerron Boots Ennis, Xander Zion. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he never accepted Xander. That's why I say
and
he
then
ducked.
yeah, and then now Israel Maracek. So
Yeah, Madrimov, which is crazy to me
Madrimov.
because Madrimov's gonna fight in a couple weeks here against Boacek on the Usyk card, and then he's gonna turn right around 2 months later and fight Virgil Ortiz. So
don't believe it.
I don't think he could do it because like the way Boacek fights, I don't know how you come out that not scratched up or cut or anything because Boacek is just a straightforward fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, unless Madrimov gets that stoppage pretty quick or wins easy, I mean it'll be Virgil's at a disadvantage if he wins easy because he'll have a camp in, so he won't really need to train for weight. He'll just be trimming up his technical skills at that point. And he's coming in off a Boacek win, which we don't know if Virgil even beat Boacek. A lot of people say Virgil lost that fight.
Yeah. I think
So
I
it's
think
crazy.
I think he lost that fight. But I think that Xander Zion needs to stay ready because if Virgil Stenson stay on that card, he could slide in.
Yeah.
Because it depends really what Ismail suffers. You're right. What if he suffers a headbutt, a cut, a gash?
Yeah.
That's not going to heal properly in 2 months. And then, it would be pushing. I mean, it's not unheard of. I've seen guys fight 25 days later, 30 days later. Mike Tyson, he's done it.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen guys, make quick turnarounds, but also Mike Tyson was knocking these guys out in 45 seconds.
Right.
So,
Yeah. He wasn't going the whole
yeah,
12.
it all depends.
Yeah.
Like you said, what, so there's been so much shit tied up with Virgil that I'm not sure anymore with what's going on over there with Oscar and them because
Yeah, man.
they send an offer for Jerron Boots Ennis at 154, then back to 147. Then Jerron Boots Ennis said he doesn't want it at 154, but he hinted in his last fight maybe it's time to move up. But in the same breath, mind you can go back, look at the interview. The guy said, but what if one of the champions want to fight you at 147? He says, well, then I'll fight at 147 to unify. Okay, wait a minute. So just a second ago, you could no longer make the weight. But if you're going to fight a unification, all of a sudden you can make the weight.
Yeah. Yeah, the boot situation's crazy to me because I don't know who he fights that's better than Virgil Ortiz.
But at 154.
No, at 47 even I'm talking because he says that's where he wants to stay. So it's like, where's the better name value at than Virgil Ortiz at 47? Like, what's making you stay there? Because Barrios and Conor Ben apparently talking. Stanionis is fighting on that undercard of Tank. I think it is Tank. And then the other champ, Brian Norman's already tied up. He's got to fight too on a top rank card early next year.
Yeah,
so
but
everybody's tied up. Why not just take this Virgil fight in February?
He
get
can't.
paid pretty good, and then go back to 47.
Yeah, but I don't
move
think
up and down.
I don't think he can because Virgil almost died trying to make 147 last time.
Oh no, I'm saying boots go up. Boots go up to 54.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because Boots wants to make it at 147, and he wants Virgil to come down. And remember that time he was hospitalized? He almost died trying to make 147. So he went up to 154. So I was
don't
like,
think he's made 47 to be honest.
he
I don't think
can't
Virgil's
make
made it.
47. Yeah, so Jerron Buchanan knows this. That's cap. For him to be like, oh no, fight me at 47, bro. That's why they sent you the contract at 54.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's
You,
crazy.
bro, the world knows. Like, the dude almost died. Like, come on, Jerron Buchanan. So in a way, I don't know what Jerron Buchanan's plans are. It doesn't seem like anybody else wants going to unify with him. Mario Barrio slid by on, you know, slid by that victory. He got dropped in the fight too. Mario Barrio in the title defense that he just
Abel
made, right?
Ramos. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a draw. I'm pretty sure it was a draw.
Yeah. So, but he remains champion, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he still got
So he
the belt.
still has his belt. So okay, so he finished up his fight. I only wonder why negotiations didn't start with Errol Spence Jr. and him immediately after the fight when Errol had no plans. I mean not Errol Spence. Jerron Boots Ennis. I'm sorry, Jerron Boots Ennis. Why didn't Jerron Boots Ennis and Mario Barrio start negotiation right after the Mario Barrio fight? Because Jerron Boots Ennis had no plans. He
had no fight. Yeah.
Right, he had no fight in front of him. I don't know why, maybe offers weren't sent in that direction, And then, like you said, I believe he is fighting on the card of Tank Davis, Stanionis.
Stanionis. Yeah, he's fighting against Garasov, I think. One of Eddie Hearn's guys, like it's Eddie Hearn's fighter.
He controls a lot of this stuff, and like sometimes I wonder why. Then you see that press conference today with Tank Davis, and the little comment he said.
All right, since we got some Tank fans in here, let's talk about that, man.
All right.
Let's talk about Tank Davis, bro. Tank Davis, the press conference. What did you guys make of it? I'll read a few comments here too, because I've been missing the Tank fans, man. You gotta love you guys. Gervonta Davis fanboy, he said Tank destroys Espinoza. Well, Espinoza's 126 pounds, so I don't think that fight will happen.
Right? Yeah, that'll never happen.
Gaming Marshall said Tank would destroy the whole middleweight. Hell no, man.
These guys are crazy. They just go there.
Hamza Shiraz. Nah, man. I love Tank, but he ain't that good, man. Or he's not that big. Like, he's too small.
He's not that big. He's just not. Yeah. Hey, do you know anything?
This guy's asking if that's a real belt.
Where?
Yeah, I guess you, Edwin. I ain't got no belt.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah, man. I fought Terrence Crawford in a parking lot of a Subway for those belts right there. Yeah, absolutely. Nah, they're just replicas. It's because I love the sport, and those are like the replicas of the belts and shit, and it just makes it look real nice. You know what I mean?
He said, I know people will get mad at me, but I think Roy Jones Jr. would get destroyed by Mike Tyson. They were too small. Like, Roy never got up there that high when Mike was still champ.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this fight.
Jerron Ennis a duck. He's not a Tank. Nah, man. Tank's a duck too, though. Like, you hear what he said today? Shout out to Oscar in the building. Tank's gonna stomp him like a roach? I guess so. Tank could murder you. Okay, these guys are getting out of control, man. All right,
they get out of control.
Yeah.
I tried to stop you before you got there.
yeah, that's out of control now, man. Yeah, but yeah, what'd you make of the press conference? I mean, I kind of saw the highlights of it.
Well, it's 3 months out from the fight, right? Which is March 1st, right? So we're 3 months away from there, at best, So, that you could see that the energy's not built it up yet, to the fight. But I know that Lamont Roach is coming to fight. You have to understand that in a boxer's career, it's hard enough to get a lot of worldwide recognition and the fans to accept you unless you have that ick factor or big social media following. You got to win the fans over fight by fight. So Lamont Roach is known a little bit at 130. He's not that big of a man, right? But you have to understand that this is his Super Bowl. This is his moment. Any fight for Tank Davis at this point, it's a dangerous fight. Everybody's trying to take everything he has. You mean to tell me you're giving me an opportunity to beat, unquote, unquote, one of the superstars of boxing? And if he pulls an upset, you better believe there's a rematch. More money, more money, more money.
Yep.
And if he pulls one of the biggest upsets, right, that's going to, it's going to shoot his name, star status, potentially put him pay-per-view next fight himself. So,
Right.
and it will make him a 2-division world champion. Remember that. Tank Davis's belt is on the line.
True. Yeah. That's at
You see?
35.
Right. So it would catapult him to a 2-division. There's a lot for Lamont Roach here to run that extra mile in training camp, to believe in himself, to tell himself, I'm not here for a paycheck. I'm actually here to fight you, Tank. You guys paid me the money. Can I actually try to win? Yes. Well, then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go try to win.
Yeah, man.
Whether or not he can do it.
Yeah, that'll be up to him. But I mean, Lamont Roach, I'm not giving him no chance because he had that split decision win with Hector, and we saw what Tank did to Hector.
He almost made the man blind. I can't see. I can't see.
Yeah, man.
I can't see. He went Ray Charles in the ring.
Yeah, man. I didn't like how Tank, he basically said he don't want to fight Shakur because Shakur ain't did nothing. When Shakur's like a 3-division champ, I believe, or maybe even 4. I think he's 3-division champ. And he's bigging up Keyshawn now. All of a sudden, Keyshawn's he said Keyshawn's looking better than Shakur. And Keyshawn hasn't won a title yet, but shout out to him. I think he's lined up for the WBO. But
yeah, he is.
It's just like, man, Tank, you really gonna not give us this fight before you leave?
No. You see, look, boxers, we've all heard it time and time again. They say the darnest things. I'm retiring. I'm back. I don't want to fight no more. Boom. We've heard it 1,000 times, right? I believe that Tank Davis is the type of man that I think he got salty that they kept bringing up Shakur's name. So he made a comment out of bitterness, and he wanted to lower Shakur and reference him even with Keyshawn Davis. And you're thinking he's going to boost up Keyshawn Davis by the same time dropping him down in the conversation too, by saying he also as well has done nothing.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. But that's true.
So, and then you could see in Tank's demeanor when he kept saying, why you guys keep bringing him up? Right? And you can tell that in actuality, while Tank was saying that, I was sitting in my chair cringing going, damn, Tank, he did more than you.
Yeah, he actually
career.
Unified.
Yeah, he had 3 belts at one time. He did more than you actually, Tank. I'm sitting in my chair going, wow. And you can see he's just speaking out of every time he's in an interview. This is his fight. You come to interview me, and the question out of your mouth is Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, he's getting. Yeah,
and I think he just kind of it was just something he didn't, it was just he was just salty. And that's what I got out of it, because if Tank sat back and really thought about it, come on, we all know Shakur did more than you. You're only a 2-division world champion. Shakur's a 3. So come on, man, Tank. And then Shakur, it was unified. He had 3 belts. He was one from, So I was like, okay, Tank, okay. I can see you're mad that they didn't say, hey, Tank Davis, how are you? How's the fight? The minute they mentioned anybody else, he just turned around with that little look on his face and was like, why you keep bringing him up? Why you keep taking him on Shakur's name? Yeah. Why you keep, you know what? He ain't even, what do you do? He ain't do nothing. He sound like a fucking kid in the 3rd grade,
Yeah.
He was salty. But look, as far as Tank retiring, I'm not buying it. If he retires, then just know that you retired and you didn't accomplish much for the type of fighter everyone believed you were. And if you were to retire tomorrow, you sure enough did not live up to my expectation as what I believe you could have been as a fighter and the
Gonna let his
accomplishments
fans
you
down.
should have had.
It's gonna let his whole fan base down.
No, yeah.
Check these comments. He said, Davis fanboy. He said, Roy Jones Jr. is an old head. Tank would slump him. Probably. I mean, like that.
Did not really fight her.
Oh, big right hand! One punch! That is it! Forget about the count. It is over.
Was incredible.
Wolf, man.
Incredible.
Yo, she would be making crazy money in today's women's boxing.
Yeah, unfortunately, she didn't. She didn't have that support or those people in her corner like Clarissa Shields. Ann Wolf really got it out the mud. If she had like Clarissa Shield backing early in her, and they brought her up, Ann Wolf got, cleaned herself up off the street and walked in the gym basically. That's basically what she did.
She was,
she started late in her career, but if she had like a Clarissa Shield upbringing, all the amateur, I think she would have been a monster.
Katie Taylor for that. She got women's boxing in the Olympics. That was Katie Taylor that did that.
Yeah.
What is the biggest challenge for Madrimov? Boyacek or Virgil? I don't know, man. Because I feel like Boyacek and Virgil's fight was so even, but I gotta say Boyacek just because of style.
Styles make fights
probably easier for Madrimov to handle. Especially, I think Madrimov got a lot of confidence from that Bud fight. He felt like I hung in there with the best guy in the world. I didn't get killed. I didn't get stopped. Some people thought I won. So I think Madrimov got some confidence off that Bud fight, and that's probably why he's signing up for these fights so easy, man. Oh man, he said, "Who do you think will win?"
And then Virgil wants to test himself, right? Because he figures if he can beat Madrimov better than Terrence Crawford, it would show to him being finally like ready. It would give him validation. Let me see if Terrence just went 12 rounds with this guy. Let me see what I can do. Type thing. What if he was to drop Ismail or knock him out?
Oh man,
where would his head be?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That fight's a measuring stick for Virgil and Bud.
Yeah.
Who do you think will win, Goliath, Nicola, or Len? Man,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Bro, Lennox Lewis over him, obviously. Lennox the Lion, man.
Hey, I discovered something the other day that I think we got a problem here. Terrence Crawford.
Yo, I think he's gonna fight Canelo, bro.
Nah, check this out. Before he fights Canelo, he needs to figure something out. You know how we pull up stuff on our thing? You know how to pull up the box source?
Box source on what? On BoxRec?
Okay, not Box Rex, but it'll say Box Source. It'll be the one above Box Rec.
Okay. I'll check it out. Never bid on it.
Okay. It's going to have 4 lines with all the divisions and the names, right? That's what you see?
Box Source. What's it on? What site is it on? Sorry.
Google. I mean, I just Google. That's how I get there. Right?
Let me see. Box Source in Google.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Wait.
Or Box.
Okay. News. Wait. All right. First I go to box ranking, and okay. Box. Which one is it?
Boxing Scene.
Is it boxing the top one? Yeah, it's Boxing Scene. I'm sorry. It's Boxing Scene is the top one. Go to the top. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, right.
What about them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they're right there, babe. All right. If you go to Boxing, it's the one with the 4 lines, right? They got the 4 lines. Okay. Go to 154 for a second.
On the rankings? All right.
Yeah. 154.
Rankings. 154. I think every site's got a different
All right, but wait.
Way
Yo,
that
watch.
they rank.
You see it?
Okay.
154. Okay.
Yeah, I'm there
Now,
now.
right where it says 154, Terrence Crawford for the WBA, it says Terrence Crawford, WBA champion. Underneath it says Jamel Charlo, WB champion in recess.
Yeah, we've known that.
Oh,
Yeah. Since he
okay.
fought,
Now,
Canelo.
watch this. Watch this. Okay. Here's the problem with this. When has a champion ever shared a championship? If you're a champion in recess to my championship, that means I have not been awarded full championship status. And if he has the belt, the interim belt at the WBO, which you're going to see there, it's going to say Sebastian Fundora is the WBO champion, and it clearly says Terrence Crawford interim. There's no confusion there. I know who the interim is, and I know who the champion is. Now, at the WBA, if Jamel Charlo is the champion in recess, to what? My title. You're the champion in recess to my title. It means that I have not been awarded full access as status as champion because the WBA still considers Jamel Charlo the champion in recess to what title? To the WBA.
Yeah.
So
you know
if
why,
that is
Boxer
okay,
doesn't recognize the WBA no more because they do
okay, hold on.
like this all the time.
Right now, check this out, brother. Here's my problem. God forbid Terrence Crawford retires today. When he goes to walk in the Hall of Fame, the alarms are going to go off, and the Hall of Fame is going to say, "You are not a 4-division world champion.
Nah,
You're only a 3.
Nah.
You're only a 3." Now, listen. This is the problem. Here's the problem, right? Just like Manny Pacquiao found out, a lot of these boxers, they'll give you acknowledgement for your interims, your secondaries, but there'll be an asterisk right there. The Hall of Fame only accepts real world championships. And if in the wording it says that Jamel Charlo is considered to be the champion in recess, but think about it, to what? To your title. So if they're not giving you full status,
what Devin Haney is, because I'm pretty sure he's the champion recess too
for the WBC, but no more because the WBC officially made it vacated on their website.
Nah, he's still there. Well, on Boxing Scene, he's still there.
Who, Devin Haney?
Yeah, he's still there.
On the WBC website, on their website, it says vacated.
Even in 47, at 47, Terrence Crawford is still champion recess. That's how he gets the Fundora fight. Because remember, he was always
because the WBO
too.
Right. Because you can. That's the only belt you can challenge the existing champion. But this is what I talk about, the bullshit and the games that the WBA be playing. Okay, with people's career. Okay, if I was Terrence Crawford, I'd be down at that headquarters and somebody got some explaining to do. Like, I want full credit for that belt. If you want me to fight Jamel Charlo next or make him a mandatory, fine. But you need to take his name off of that. Because as long as you consider, how are you going to consider us both champion at the exact same time for the exact same belt? That means that one of us.
That's crazy.
You can't do that. That's why I would be down at the WBA demanding that somebody explain this. Because that is his career. And then people are going to be able to debate this. You know, people are going to be able to look like other champions. They're going to be like, yo, Terrence Crawford, you know you ain't a 4-division world champion. You know you never had full status, championship status. Jamel Charlo was considered the champion in recess. Who shares a championship?
Man, that's the WBA's fault. That's why nobody recognizes it. But
yeah, but the WBC did the same thing with Devin Haney, champion in recess. Then what do you mean?
But they drop it after a while, which is good. The WBA, like Jamel Charlo's been there almost a year, man.
Hold on, Jamel Charlo announced his retirement, for God's sake.
Yeah, he
shouldn't even be considered.
Yeah, he should have been dropped out. Shout out to the IBF. You know, they know how to do their stuff. They just dropped Zepeda out of the top ranking because he didn't want to fight for their belt.
That's right.
You could only be number one for so long. The WBO changed their rules now. If you are mandatory and you don't fight the champ, you get taken out the ranking too. because you
if
just
the
holding up
rules
the
states,
division.
it states, the WBO states, if they offer you the fight and you don't take it, you get dropped out of the rankings. And then I had a conversation about this, right? They said, yo, they dropped him out of the ranking. He's not even in the top 15. I said, no, 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 no. I said, as soon as he fights again, he's going to go somewhere in the ranking. He'll be around 8 or 7, but they're going to wait till he fights. Then they're going to re-put him in the ranking. You know, he's a good fighter, but he's going to have to make his way back up because he denied an offer for a title shot. You know, and these kind of rules are going to hold some of these fighters accountable. You know, like William Cepeda.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
how
the
the
guy I'm
hell,
talking about, Cepeda. Yeah, he got dropped.
bro, how the hell did you become the #1 in all 4 major sanctioning bodies without fighting a champion?
Yeah, and
how do
he's
you
number
do
one
that?
And only 2. He's only number 1 and 2 now because the WBO dropped him, the IBF
Good.
dropped him,
Good,
and the WBC will probably drop him if he doesn't fight Shakur. So I mean, the WBA will hold him up, but that's what they do.
Look, I know, you know, WBA is just like, no, man, and you're not gonna play with my boy Terrence Crawford's record. You're not gonna try to, discredit his accomplishment. When I fought Israel, you could have told me that you guys consider Jermell Charlo the champion of recess. No sooner did I win the belt after you say this. Like, what kind of Mickey Mouse organization are you guys running here when you're the first belt to evolve?
Right? Yeah, man.
You would think you had your shit together because all these other belts spinned off your organization.
Right. Yep.
You would think that they had their shit better together, but they don't.
But they don't, man.
And I don't like that shit. When I read that shit, I just didn't let it go over my head. You know, and if I could get a word to Terrence Crawford, I would demand them to take or upgrade him to an interim champion, Jermell Charlo.
Right.
So that it's clear. No, you don't got no ties to my belt. You have an interim or a secondary. But by saying champion in recess, you're tied to my belt. That's what that says.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's what that says.
Guy Oscar, he said, if Tank retires, big emphasis on if he be one of the boxers to fade into the sport. Yeah, man, I think so. Man.
That'd be sad to see, man.
Unfortunately.
Honestly.
These guys gotta catch up here. Oh, man. He said leave Tank alone. Yeah. Tank beats Crawford. I don't know,
stop
man.
it.
I mean, Crawford called Tank out. He said that's the only guy he'd make 47 for, and Tank walked the other way, you know, like he should.
He should.
Tank over Canelo. Nah, man. You crazy.
These guys are gone.
Don't know who would win. It's 50-50, my opinion. Oh, this guy, he's still talking about that giant dude. I don't even know who he is. You know who this guy is? Nikola Valuev is 7'2".
I heard of him. I haven't had a chance to check him out because I've been trying to check out and break down the Robertsi and Espinoza in my head that I'm getting ready to watch because I think that that's going to be the best fight on that card with Navarrete.
That is the best fight. Like they might steal fight of the year.
I hope.
Last fight they had was good.
I hope. Hey, listen, man, check it out, right? Imagine being a Cuban medalist, you know, revered as the best thing since sliced bread that came out of Cuba. You know, I know he had an early rocky start and then he became world champion. Imagine being in the ring with a guy 6'1" at 126 pounds. And you hurt him, you drop him, and you're showboating on him, and all of a sudden, he outworked you, and your expression in your face turned to worried, and you started like, oh shit, and you're getting weaker, he's getting stronger.
Yep.
And he just, that has to do something to you mentally, like. You might get a flashback and you might be thinking, I'm not going to throw him any punches because I don't want to get gassed out. You know how fighters do that.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
start to
all the
second
time,
guess,
man. All the time.
right? And then they're saying because the last time what I lost was because my gas tank didn't hold up. Then all of a sudden he's giving away early rounds, thinking to be conservative, and ends
Yeah.
up losing the fight.
Yeah. That's why I was surprised he took the rematch. I mean, he definitely did the right thing and took a fight before he went back
Yes.
into the rematch.
Right.
That was good, But shout out to Robacy, man. I mean, I feel like Andy Cruz got the more Cuban height, but Andy Cruz is not Robacy. Robacy's won a title. He's probably probably the best decorated Cuban right now outside of Laura.
Right now,
Laura's
as
still
of right now, I
fighting.
think.
Yeah, outside of Laura, he's definitely the guy for sure. I mean, but shout out
Well,
to David
Morale.
Yeah, shout out to David Morrell. He's coming up. He's got a tough
Yeah.
fight against Benavidez, and
Yeah.
there's another dude too at 168, Iglesias. Forget his
Yeah.
last or first name, but yeah, he's also coming up. And then Andy Cruz, but I mean
Andy Cruz for me, he's just a new shiny toy. That's all.
Yeah, he's not no Lomachenko, man.
No, he's just the next shiny toy.
Yeah,
That's all.
Lomachenko
And the
was
people get a
already-
little excited. Like,
yeah. Lomachenko was already fighting for titles at 4-0. Like he was already fast track. They're taking
2-0
steps back with Andy Cruz already. Like he fought Moran, who was a good fighter. Now he's fighting some guy who's a step back. So Eddie Hearn's showing us, man. He's showing us who he believes in, and he believes in Shakur Stevenson because he put Shakur up against everybody. But Boots, he's not gonna put Boots up against Virgil at 54. He's bringing Andy back.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He puts Madrimov in these fights, so obviously he believes in Madrimov. But then I think to myself, is it the fighters or is it Eddie Hearn? Maybe Eddie Hearn's just presenting the opportunity and the fighters are not taking them.
Look. I saw Eddie Hearn try to do damage control when the guy revealed to him that Jerron Boots Ennis said that he didn't know nothing about it. Then Eddie Hearn tried to do a little damage control and back shit up and stuff. I saw that. But sometimes, messages are not relayed. It's not like just because he's his boxing promoter that he's around Jerron Boots Ennis all the time. So, sometimes, Eddie Hearn got his phone is a very busy phone, I can imagine. So he's constantly fighting from city to city, trying to do his thing, promote fights, and so I'll give him that. But when Jerron Boots Ennis, not even less than a month ago, was saying he wanted to fight Terrence Crawford at 54, where that he was already willing to test the waters at 54 and fight Terrence Crawford. But then he gets a lesser foe, kind of big offered, with a good name. And technically, Jerron Boots Ennis, I don't want to get all over you, but I can be critical to a fighter. Technically, you haven't fought anybody.
Yeah,
Virgil
that would've been his
Ortiz,
biggest name.
yes. And you said no. So look, I don't know. Maybe his dad saw maybe Virgil Ortiz is not the type of fighter you want to fight because you could see he gets dropped twice and he still wins.
Yeah. Yeah, and
We don't want to go up against that team.
Yeah, Boots doesn't fight like Boychuk, not at all.
I
Boychuk
don't-
run out of no steam. That guy was crazy. So
You know
Virgil's
what?
Been through the fire.
Yeah.
So we could say
Yeah.
that he's been dropped, got up, and won.
Mhm.
That means something. That shows character.
Yeah, it does.
Like we still haven't seen Boots get cracked, man.
Well, I saw him get cracked. I just didn't see it. He didn't get the full. He didn't get the full. Yeah.
154. It wasn't no Virgil. Like Virgil's a KO puncher. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say
he
he's a
is.
one-hit wonder puncher, but he got power.
Well, just coming into his last fight, he was rocking 100% knockout ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into the fight where he got dropped twice. So
Yeah.
he had 100% knockout ratio, rocking it. So
Exactly.
he's got knockout power. That's without a question. So I'm not sure what it was with Jerron Boots Ennis or what him and his team are, because maybe that performance that Jerron Boots Ennis, him and his father really know that it's due in part to maybe the lifestyle outside of boxing. Maybe you didn't train
Possibly.
as good as you should have. And to make an excuse, you said, yeah, it must be that I'm getting big for the division. When in fact, you're not.
Yeah.
You're just not training hard
Just
enough
not
anymore.
training.
Because now you're being pulled in every direction by your favorite rapper, basketball player, football player, want to ask you to come out and hang out with us. You're starting to get a good name for you in Philadelphia, Jerron Boots Ennis. All of a sudden, you're invited to much more gatherings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now your father is like trying to call you to come in and you're late for training camp and you're late for showing up for training. And then you go in and fight this fight and you don't look as good. And it was,
Yep.
and it, his face looked kind of puffy. It didn't look like in shape. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
His physique looked a little round. It didn't look like in shape. So it was like I've seen him look better, and I've seen him fight better.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't look like his body was responding all the way 100% to what he was thinking. There's nothing like your feet, your hand, your upper body all moving together as one. But yeah, I think he just didn't train well. What do you think?
Possibly. I mean, yeah, maybe he wasn't motivated because it's a rematch against somebody who's not a name.
Right.
And, they lost the purse bid. There was a lot going on around that time, too. Lost the purse bid. He had Brian Norman Sr. around here calling you a Doug.
Mm.
So, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think Boots probably wasn't motivated to fight Karen. But at the same time, man, you got to take care of business. Eddie Hearn pulled the strings to get the fight in Philly. So you didn't have to go on the road to Ukraine or Germany, wherever. But you still got to win, man. You a champ. If you're going to say you're going to stay there and defend your belt, then go ahead and do that and make sure that you. I think another thing too, like he told us, oh, I'm gonna knock him out and I'm gonna stop him. So, when you're stepping or when he's stepping to you, it kind of looks like, hey, maybe you don't punch that good, man. But I know he knocked him down, so I can't really say that. But shout out to Just Two Boxing in the building, my guy. What's going on, brother?
So
Yeah, I can't say he ain't got no power because he knocked him down, but the respect level was definitely different in this fight. Karen did not respect Boots as much as he did in the first fight. That's for sure. That's for good reason. Maybe he thought he saw something.
right.
But yeah, man, the big fight that I'm looking forward to also is Liam Paro and Hitchins. It's a big moment for the winner. I mean, they're moving
Big
the
fight.
154-pound division, 140. Sorry, they're moving it.
Yep.
With the fight. Hopefully T.O. and Dev Haney could follow suit, man, and make some big fights as well. Cause the winner of this, it'll be a good one, man. Who you think is gonna win? It's in
Okay.
Puerto Rico.
Besides the crazy location, I don't
Yeah.
understand the location of the fight. Why it's not in Australia or maybe some in Puerto Rico where you just beat our guy. Like what? Like I don't. Ed Hearn. I'm scratching my head on this one. But as far as the fight goes, I think Liam Paro's a more seasoned of a fighter. To be honest, I think that uh he's a lot smarter than what I think, because he looks simple or basic so much to the point where I think he's like surprises guys like, man, but he got good timing. He knows how to beat the person to the punch. He knows how to clinch good. He understands whoever, is coaching or writing out his game plan for these guys when he fought Montana Love, the way that he came into that fight and dismantled Love. I was just like, I thought he was going to lose that fight, to tell you the truth, because, the other guy was supposed to be on the rise,
Yeah, Montana Love, yeah.
yeah, he was supposed to be on the rise, and Liam Paro was hereditarily unknown, and the way he looked strong against him, and he just kept spinning Subriel Matias. He understood Subriel Matias' fighting style. And he kept the course. I think that Richard Hitchison hasn't really been battle tested like Liam Paro has,
Right,
and I
right.
think that experience is it's going to come to play in this fight, I believe. That's my prediction. I think Liam Paro gets it done, and I also think Liam Paro becomes the first man to stop him, and I think he's going to stop him late. I think he's going to stop him 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, man, I'm not mad at that. Like, I think
Mm-hmm.
Richard Hitchens just hasn't been to this level yet. And shout out to him for taking the fight, man, because I mean, this is what you want to do. You went over to sign with Eddie Hearn to be to get a world title.
Right.
But man, Liam Pyro's really good, man. Really, really good. The first time I heard about him was I think when Shakur was fighting De Los Santos. They said he
Mm,
gave Shakur a lot of problems in sparring. And then
mm.
obviously Devin Haney sparring with him, getting ready for the Regis fight. And then he fights on Devin Haney's undercard against Montana Love and stops him. So, like you
Yeah.
said, that was like his coming out party pretty much. And Richard Hitchens was above Liam Paro in the rankings, but he didn't take the fight. He wanted to go another route, WBC route when Sabril Matisse had it. So here comes Liam Paro, going in Puerto Rico, unknown territory, man. Since Sabril Matisse home, he's known as the monster. Everybody's apparently running away from him. And man, shout out to Liam Paro's team because I think it was in the 7th or 8th round.
He's
Sabril
the seventh.
Matisse
He's going to quit.
yeah, it seemed like Sabril Matisse had found his footing and started coming forward, and his corner, like, they riled him back in, and they were getting in his face, like, man, you winning this fight. Like, you need to get back to where you were,
Yeah.
get focused again. And he did. He refocused. He may have lost, like, another round after that, and then you saw him get back to what he was doing. And it was just Matias who couldn't basically slow down Pyro. But,
No, I did. Well, I was there live, right?
okay.
And I was sitting right there in Puerto Rico watching the fight live. I interviewed Liam Paro and I interviewed Sabril Matias, both of them,
Mm-hmm.
for the fight. I did say in a video to my brother that Matias looked a little weight drained,
Yeah.
and Liam, he looked real comfortable. The island of Puerto Rico really showed him love. They all showed him respect. They didn't boo him like that. Him and his crew came in to the workouts, and the island really showed him that we're respectable too, and we could accept a win and a loss. A lot of
Yeah.
people felt
Yeah.
like Liam Paro wasn't gonna make it out that island with the belt and shit, and it's not like that. And
Yeah.
as you can see that they liked him so much that they're making the next fight is in Puerto Rico for title
Right.
defense. So
Headlining.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that auditorium there that they're it sits over 10,000 people, so they believe they can sell that, so that's great. But yeah, man, I think Liam Paro was really underrated.
Yeah, no
Underrated,
doubt. No doubt,
you
man.
know. I
I
just
gave him
don't
a
see where
shot.
Richard Hitchison, who did he fight
Mm.
that told you that he's even on Liam Paro's level?
Uh,
Any any
it's
fighter,
just
Richard
because,
Hitchison, name any fighter, anyone.
yeah,
I
it's
don't
more like
see it.
the Mayweather cosign, like he was signed to Mayweather. That's what people are basing it off, right? Because this
No,
last fight, a lot of people thought he lost, man, against
he
Lemos.
lost that fight. Come on, man.
And I looked at it. I knew Keyshawn was going to stop Lemos because Keyshawn's not like Richard Hitchison. Keyshawn has the inside game, a very good inside game. That's where
You
Lemos
thought he
is
was gonna
given.
stop
Oh yeah,
Lemos?
man. I
Really?
told it.
No
I
one
told it.
stopped him.
I went in on the boxing voice and said that, and then someone was laughing at me. I was like, nah, man. I'm like, Keyshawn gonna bring this to the kitchen, and he's gonna win the fight. Like that's how Keyshawn fights. Lemos never been in the ring with anybody who can beat him in the kitchen like that. Like, and
But
Keyshawn,
he
that's what
actually
he
didn't
did.
beat him in the kitchen. He actually stood there, rolled his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yo, he put his jaw.
Yeah. Nah, yo, Keyshawn's on a different mental right now.
Well,
But
well,
I think Hitchens lacks that inside, and you can see he kept grabbing Lemos because he didn't know what to do with him. And like, what you gonna
yeah,
do with Paro when you get there? Paro's crafty in that center too.
yeah, and the inside, right.
Mm-hmm. I
Paro's
think
gonna
that's where
spin him.
Yes, I think that's where he's gonna get very frustrated. And like you said, he's gonna make a mistake and probably get clipped up.
Gonna get caught
Maybe.
close on the inside with a good check hook, spinning him, and he ain't gonna see the punch coming. It's gonna sit him right down.
Yeah.
I can see that happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that happening.
I hope Richard Hitchins makes it a good fight, though. I hope it's not like a
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah. You see the difference between Richard Hitchison and a fighter like Keyshawn Davis. When I saw Keyshawn Davis fight right against Lamos, I said to myself, I couldn't help but notice Terrence Crawford's style showing up in Keyshawn. Terrence Crawford's patience, the way that Terrence Crawford sits there and he sits that moment and allows the guy to finish his punch, and then he wasn't looking for the knockout. It was so natural that when Keyshawn hit him, Keyshawn even admitted it. He said, I wasn't looking for the knockout. It was just there. And that's how Terrence Crawford and Bomac teaches. You know what I mean? Terrence Crawford doesn't really try to knock you out. He just sees the opening. Yeah. He let nature take his course. But if you make too many mistakes, he's an elite fighter. He can make reads.
Right.
You know? For Keyshawn Davis to drop him and knock him out the way he did that early, you know, before his loss, right? He was like on a 8 knockout streak. You know that, right? Liam.
Oh, really? Okay.
Before the loss, yeah, because now he has 2 losses, right? Because he just lost to Keyshawn. He was coming off a loss,
I didn't
right?
know he had 8 knockouts. No.
He had 8 consecutive knockouts. He had knocked out everyone. So I was on when I was doing my live. I had pulled up his record against Keyshawn's, you know, and I was pointing that out. I was like, "Yo, guys, apparently this guy can crack, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So he loses to Richard Hitchison, and I'm saying he really didn't lose to him, and that was at a heavier division, right? So he comes down to fight Keyshawn.
Yeah.
He comes down to fight Keyshawn, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm saying to myself, okay, but he's been hit by guys that were bigger, and Richard Hitchison couldn't knock him out. Mm-hmm. Keyshawn's smaller. You guys think that Keyshawn got enough? And then all of a sudden, no sooner I said it, he laid him out right there. And that was all technique. That punch was all technique, timing, and positioning. That punch. It was a thing of beauty. You know, he just, you know, so I don't know. I'm not too sure he can do that against Tank, but
I don't think he does that against Tank. But I think I don't know, man. I never seen Tank's inside game either. Like,
I seen Tank's inside game against Yuri Gamboa.
Gamboa stood in there though. Even on
he was spinning Gamboa.
That's pretty crazy. Gamboa.
Yeah,
I think he tore his Achilles in like early in the fight.
Yeah,
he stood in there with Tank, but I just think Tank ain't ever been in there with somebody who is gonna stand in front of them and turn him too. Try to turn him like it's just like when
Mario did that.
Dev. When he got in front of Dev, Lomachenko was like, "Oh shoot, this guy's turning with me and throwing all these body shots." He wasn't used to that.
I thought Mario Barrio was turning Tank pretty good in the early rounds.
Yeah, he was.
Leo Santa Cruz, I think, threw the most punches at Tank and was catching Tank. Leo Santa Cruz, you know, he was sitting there exchanging with Tank in the middle of the ring, you know, and Tank, you know, he just threw that jab 3 times, too many times, and Tank put him to sleep, you know. But
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
but you know,
Leo Santa Cruz, man.
Yeah, those were the only like really like with Ponce. I mean, they look. A lot of guys, once Tank hit him, you saw that they were trying to like stay away from him. You know, they were staying on the outside.
Yeah, the power was real.
Yeah, so he didn't really get in. And then when we thought that he was gonna fight like, you know, a more athletic Black American fighter in Frank the Ghost Martin, he never went in the inside with. And why do you think that's so? Because I think he felt something early.
He knows the power. Yeah, he knows.
He felt that power early. You see how these guys can get a little Oh, I sparred him. And in sparring, I did good with him. Oh, yeah? What happened on real fight with real 8-ounce gloves
Yeah,
and
you
no
don't show-
headgear?
You don't show everything in sparring though.
I said, what? Now what? Now what about you sparring? I try to tell
Yeah.
people it don't mean nothing. Sparring,
Yeah.
you're not
Some
supposed
people
to.
love champion sparring. I don't know why, man. Like it's like a practice. Like it's not a real fight. So I don't know
And
why.
it's like people just completely forget that in sparring, you don't got the crowd, your girl in the front row with your kids. You don't got the pressure of your town wanting you to win the fight. You're fighting and sparring with all confidence, headgear, and huge gloves. You guys are working over things. You know what I'm saying? When the guy leaves, I tell my guy, this I saw this, and this. We need to work on this, and this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you use sparring for. So, and they try to Frank Martin. I sparred Tank Davis. I stunned him. Tank was like, you didn't do nothing.
Yeah, Oscar said I got Paro as well. I really didn't like him mentioning the rehydration clause from the IBF though. Oh, that must have been Hitchins. I know he mentioned that. That was the reason why he didn't want to fight Sabril. Is the rehydration, which is funny.
If you
now Sabril doesn't have the belt and he wants to fight for it
with the same rehydration clause in effect with the IBF.
Yeah,
because the rehydration clause comes from the IBF belt.
Yeah, that's the one he's talking about.
Yeah.
Game Marshall, he said, I'm off this. Game
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Since he loves Mike, had to play that Mike for him. Mike was different, man.
Yeah, he is.
He was different.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, what do you think about this Better BF and Bivol rematch, man? I mean, that is the headline for that card. Dorada season, February 22nd. The super card. Man, shout out to Turkey Al Sheik giving us that for $26. Pay-per-view. We got Bivol, Better Beef rematch. Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield. Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. Zhang versus Caballel. Hamza Shiraz versus Carlos Adames. Missing a couple. Virgil Ortiz and Madrimov. And Callum Smith and Boatsi, man. That's like a super.
I like that Dubois Parker, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight.
I like that. Want to see that. I was like, that's cool that Dubois took that fight against Parker. I was like, okay, let's see this what happened. And Zhang, he's stay busy fight because I'm sure he's gonna want to call out, because
what? You don't think Zhang could lose? I mean, Caballel, he's kind of like Joseph Parker. Like, he got the same style.
I know that these guys think that he's gonna take these fights like if they're tuna fights or something, and they're gonna get upset and they're gonna get rocked.
Rider season, man. Yeah,
they're gonna find out just like Gerald Miller of Big Baby thought he was gonna go in there and Top Rank told him, I don't like this fight, don't take it. No, Bob. Uncle Bob, I got this. Boop.
Yeah. Well, Bob didn't stop it though. Bob said, hey man, if you want to get paid.
He signed off on it. He signed off on it. He tried to tell the young man, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, Bob's funny for that.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a great card. I mean, I think the only mismatch is the Shakur fight because I think Shakur Stevens got way too much experience for Floyd Schofield at this point. But
that's
at the
why I
same
didn't even
time,
talk about that. Yeah,
we want these young guys to fight these fights. So I mean, shout out to Schofield. He's kind of doing something that the other young guys aren't doing. He's stepping up to the plate. Nobody wants to fight Shakur. So Zepeda got an injury. Tank's tied up. With Lomachenko, we don't know what's going on with him. Is he retired or not? And then Baranchek's supposed to fight Keyshawn apparently. So
apparently,
all
yeah.
the champions are tied up, and then it's like nobody else really stepping up to the plate to fight Shakur. So Schofield's been talking. They've been saying they wanted him. So I mean, shout out to them for taking it.
That's what I mean about Top Rank, right? They be like, oh, Bob this, Bob that. But if Bob likes you, bro, if Bob likes you as a fighter, he'll get you those title fights. Keyshawn said, Bob said, I got you right
Yeah,
over
yeah,
Zepeda.
yeah.
We want the belt. You know, Bob ain't no
Oh
joke, man.
man.
And I was laughing, right? Because I was saying to myself, right? Because when they mentioned the Virgil Ortiz fight, you know, of course he's with Golden Boy, right? And
Yeah.
then Xander Zion is with Top Rank. And the guys were like, yo, you think you'll get robbed? I was like, nah, because if Oscar wants to go that way, Uncle Bob got it too. You know what I'm
Yup.
saying?
Yup.
Like, what? How you want to do this? How you want to do this?
Again, Marshall, he said he's back. Yo, I wanted to play this for you.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that? You
My
broke
back is broken.
what? A vertebrae or
Well,
what portion?
Spinal.
Yo, that Mike, man, he wasn't the same Mike, man. He wasn't the same Mike as he wanted to fight Lennox Lewis. That wasn't the same guy.
Nah.
But yeah, man, what do you think about I think a fight that I don't know too much about is the Carlos Adames versus Hamza Shiraz. Like, they're both at 160. That's kind of like a dead division right now, 160 middleweight.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really great.
It's not
but
popping so much.
yeah, I'm glad that they're at least, Hamza Shiraz is a younger guy, so he's kind of trying to do something in that division. But
Right.
a lot of people think he ducked Janabek because I guess he had a Janabek fight as well too, and that's for 2 titles.
You know, for as dangerous as everybody thinks Janabek is, man, I just don't. I really haven't. You know, I want to see him fight. You know, tougher, bigger guys too. You know, I want to see him really get tested too. You know,
Yeah.
I just think that he's fighting these guys that he's just levels above, and you can clearly see it. And I have not seen him fight really the type of guy that I felt like the guy coming into the fight had a chance of winning. That's just the problem. You know, if every fight I watch, I can legitimately say, yeah, this guy's gonna win. You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't know if it's gonna happen, but you're always the favorite. You haven't fought a fight where the public said, wow, this is a 50-50 fight here. When's the last time you heard that?
Yeah. And like he hasn't been making weight easy. He almost throw off a last fight because he was hospitalized. So it's like, man, 68's got names at 68 at least. Why not go to 68?
Yeah, but 68's a dead division with Saul Canelo Alvarez holding them belts ransom. You'll never be a champion.
I hope he starts getting stripped. Shout out to the IBF. They stripped him. But these other divisions need to start doing that, especially if he's not fighting his mandatory.
Who got that IBF belt again from Saul? Is it vacant?
2 guys fought for, I think, William Skull and Shishkin.
Oh yeah.
I think William Skull won, but Shishkin's team's trying to say it was a bad decision, so they're trying to appeal it. You know what happened. Yeah, you know what happens.
They're doing a Lomachenko to Devin.
Yeah,
they're doing a Loma.
Yeah,
I didn't lose.
Yeah, veto the whole thing, but I don't know, man. I think that for sure, I think Janabek should have moved up because Berlanga's name is hot right now. I mean, Caleb Plant, it's always hot. Jamal Charlo, he needs a dance partner.
He can
Demetrius
come back.
Andre. There's some
might
names
be too
there.
dangerous to fight him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's.
I would like Jamal Charlo to fight at least one fight to show me where he's at, and then fight active fighters. I don't like guys coming off big layoffs being thrown right into the frying pan, and then they look less than average, and then it kind of gives a false impression to this other guy. Like, oh, look, if he beat Jamal, well, you might have not beat the best version of him.
Right.
You know.
Right. Marshall said, "What are your top 3 best boxers of all time?"
Yeah, Diablo.
Mine's Roberto Duran, Roy Jones, and Floyd. So my guys.
I didn't hear all 3. I heard Roberto Duran and Floyd. What was your other one?
Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones Jr. Okay.
Yep.
That's tough. All right. This now I'm just gonna say this real quick. This is not I'm not picking my top 3 by the best skilled of all time. I'm picking it by my favorite and what the
for
boxer
sure.
did for me.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Okay.
That's how I determine
The
it too.
first one off the rip, Mike Tyson, number 1. Number 2 is Floyd Mayweather, and number 3 is Hector Camacho.
Oh, shout out to Hector Camacho, man.
He's a real showmanship, man. He just
was, man.
did his thing, man, for us, man. Us little Latin dudes and shit. And we were like,
Yeah.
that's our boy. And he would go in there, macho time. And
Yup.
it just was electrifying. It was electrifying to see him perform. You know, him and his little curl and his little one-liners.
Yeah,
That New York accent. He came in popping shit, talking it. And for us, as me being a Latin man, especially being Puerto Rican at my age, when it came at a time where we were still trying to find our way in this world, you know, and he was, you know, coming up at a great time, and it just culturally he really impacted and me in a way and brought our family together and stuff, and just like that. Now, if we were talking like greatest fight, I mean, I couldn't. That would be that would be real hard because it's just so many great fighters.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
man.
just so many for different. I liked it. Listen, I liked it Arturo Gotti.
Chill, he was tough as nails.
Listen, there wasn't a boring Arturo Gotti fight.
Yeah,
It was blood everywhere.
Yeah,
Someone
those
was
guys
bleeding.
It
was
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Just
I
straight
loved him
warriors,
because of
man.
the excite. Yeah, because the excite. I had him. It wasn't because he was the best skilled. No, it wasn't because it was just his warrior spirit. Like, you know what I mean? His mental warrior spirit. It was just like, you know, sometimes you can be mentally strong, but God didn't bless you with the greatest skills. You could have all the greatest skills in the world and then check out mentally.
Yeah. There's guys
Give up
that
on
were
yourself.
supremely talented and just never panned out to what we thought they were gonna pan out. Or guys that are just gym fighters. You know, they're great in the gym. As soon
Right.
as they get under
Gym.
them lights,
Right.
they can't
Lights.
perform.
They're not the same man.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. I seen a few of those guys in my time, and
Yeah.
it's crazy because I think so highly of them, and then they get in the ring, and I'm like, man, he's gonna do this and that, and I'm like, oh, what is he doing, man? This is not the same guy I watched. Like,
I know. Your sparring partners were better than this. You know,
Yeah.
and you're losing to them.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
to the
true,
guy.
man.
It's
Tough.
yeah.
It's tough to watch, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's boxing though, man. Not everybody can shine under the lights, you know. It's just like any
No,
profession.
no. And that's what I mean when guys talk about, you know, oh, I was sparring and I got the better of them. And I'm like, bro, when you get under those lights and everything is riding, pressure breaks pipes.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are talking about you walking into a gym sparring against a guy that you really don't know what he's working on. And, you know,
Right.
the one thing about when, right, I can admit this, right? Whenever a champion came to our gym, right? Like he was a champion from out of state, and you knew he was a world champion. Like it was like, I don't know, like who can I back in the day who came to the gym? Like there was a few. So, but my point is, whatever champion came in and whatever kid or whatever guy they got to spar against him, he went out there and he tried to like give it his all because he wanted to see how he fared against the champion. So you would hear the champions always say this. Every time I got a fight against these kids, I got these kids all remmed up. Ah, you know, and the champion's like, man, kid, calm down. You know, I just want to box against you, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. They always
The
trying to
champion.
like come in for something, you know.
Yeah,
But
and then
I don't get it.
you
bro.
get this kid, yeah, always trying to,
He's
yeah,
trying to
man,
show the
but-
world.
yeah, he wants to show, hey, no, I sparred with the champion. I did this. And then all of a sudden he's on YouTube. I was beating the champion. Yeah, no, you weren't, kid. Like, chill out.
Oh man, nah, you can't
Yeah.
be doing that, brother. Can't be punching on the champ like that.
Nah, because look at what happened with Frank Martin. He went all campaigning about that YouTube fucking sparring video and that how he wobbled Tank Davis. And he had a couple people put a couple extra bucks on him with that that false little. And Tank said, "Listen, let me tell you, you didn't do nothing."
Yeah.
And
yeah.
sure enough, he shut him down. He shut that man down.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
we got even bigger fights coming up now too. Or another fight I wanted to talk about. I'm just thinking here now because we're talking about monsters, right? Naoya Inoue. He's gonna be
Yeah, he's
closing up
fighting,
December 24th.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah,
just before the
Sam
Usyk
Goodman
fight.
ain't nothing though, man. Like he gotta fight somebody.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I seen
he
Sam
kicked-
Goodman fight, and I'm like, nah, anyway, gonna stop this guy. Like this is not.
Yeah,
a good
well,
fight.
Sam Goodman is the number one ranked in 2 sanctioning bodies, so and he's undefeated, so obviously he deserves his way up there. If you're saying that Sam Goodman is nothing, being the 2 number one, what's that say about Naoya Inoue and his dominance? That's how good that dude is.
Yeah, or that
And
division
these guys
right
are
now,
not.
and he got to move up.
Yeah, and the thing is that like every single time Naoya Inoue enters a weight division, it's the same conversation in a couple months. There's no one here left. I think it's time for him to move up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why not, man? I mean, Crawford did
he
that.
murdered.
Nobody there left. Let's go to 54. Where all the sharks are.
That's what I talk. That's what I talk about, right? He did it a little too good. I mean, he kicks open the front door at the 122, and he fights the number one best guy off the rip, and then he goes after the second guy.
Yeah.
Like he cleaned out the division so fast. He's on his what is this? Let me see. Okay, he fought Stephen Kubo Fulton at 122, Marlon Tapales, Luis Pantera Nari, TJ Doheny.
Yeah, that guy was
and
trash.
now, huh?
TJ Doheny, that dude didn't even want to be there. That was crazy.
He broke his back with a punch.
yeah, that's wild.
And then, but DJ ducked into it. That was his fault. And now he's fighting Sam Goodman, so that'll be his 5th fight at 122 pounds. He's been in the division since July when he came in and fought Stephen Kubo Fulton.
Yeah, that was before Crawford.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was last year?
Yeah.
Last year, July. Yeah.
He's got 5 fights in now. That's activity.
Nah, that is.
Yo.
Yeah, he's always active. That's
Listen,
for sure.
then he's changing people's lives. Brother, it's hard enough for you to get a phone call to get challenged and accepted to get one shot at one world title. He's giving you an opportunity at 4.
Yeah, undisputed, but that's about to change, man. You know he joined Rider season, so.
Oh no, well, they paid him all that million to wear a t-shirt. That don't mean nothing.
Yeah, it does. It means you're gonna have to come over here and fight soon against Nick Ball and get smoked.
I'm not sure what that means, but maybe he might is Junto Nakatoni?
Nah, we ain't going down. They're gonna bring him up, man.
No, they're gonna bring Junto up to 122. I thought maybe. You like that? You really want to put him against Nick Ball?
Hell yeah, because your man's ain't never been pressured like that. Nick Ball is the wrecking ball. He ain't never seen that.
What?
Who has anyway fought like that?
His second professional fight. He was 19 years old. Put on his second fight.
Nick Ball? Bro.
Nick Ball.
Nah. Nick Ball is a different type of
spitting image of Nick Ball. Inoue second fight. I dare you to look it up.
I watched this guy go life and death with Nonito Donaire, an old man. And Nick Ball ain't gonna be like that. It's gonna be
wait a minute. Nonito Donaire, when he fought Naoya Inoue, would have beat Nick Ball.
I don't know, man. I thought
think
Ray Ford was gonna take care of Nick Ball. I thought Ray Vargas was gonna take care of Nick Ball. Them boys both struggled. Nick Ball got that. He just got a dog in him. That's what it is. He not no technically sound guy. He just gonna make you work.
You know the 2 guys you mentioned, Ray Ford, skinny ass Mexican, Nick Ball, brutalized him like he bulldozed through him. The other guy you mentioned, Same thing. Naoya Inoue for me, man. Nick Ball presents. I can't lie. His power concerns me. His lunging ability with those check heavy punches.
Yo, he
Depending
cheats
how
too. He's a cheater.
but Naoya Inoue is a sharpshooter. When Luis Pantera Nari knocked him down and rushed him with that pressure, he stepped back, caught him in like deep and like empty space and dropped him. Then Luis Pantera Nari put him against the rope, and he had Naoya Inoue against the rope. Naoya Inoue peeked out of his gloves like this, looked like this, and just waited and went snap and knocked him and just dropped Luis down. And they were
he
in
can't
close
fight
like
Nick
this.
Ball. Never mind. He can't fight Nick Ball. Nick Ball like taller than him almost.
Nick, what are you talking? Well, how tall is Nick Ball? 5'6"?
5'6". Anyways,
Naoya Inoue's 5'5".
That's crazy.
He's 1 inch taller than him. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm saying like Nick Ball.
Yep.
Nick Ball gonna come in like big, like rehydrate. That's what I'm talking about. He gonna look. way
Yeah. He's
bigger than
gonna come in
anyone.
there big, VIJ. He's just gonna be a big spot on the mat in the corner right over there. It's just gonna take up his body's gonna take up a lot of room and right in the mat because that's where he's gonna be.
Oh, man, I don't know, man. I don't know, bro.
I gotta go with my boy Naoya. And I you know what?
Man,
I haven't bet against him yet. I'm not gonna start today.
Against him. I'm not betting at all in that fight because I bet against Nick Ball all the time and he take my money.
Yeah, you better stop betting against him.
Louis Neri. Oh, he got a lot of knockouts, so he's a puncher. I didn't know. Like,
no.
I didn't. All I knew about Louis Neri was like he had that PED thing.
Yeah,
in Japan
for the weight. Yeah, in Japan.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he missed the next time he fought him. He missed by 5 pounds.
Oh, you missed weight. Oh shoot.
Yeah, he missed weight by 5 pounds. The first time he came in with the PEs with the Japan guy.
Yeah.
So they relived the fight, but they didn't suspend him or kick him out of Japan at that point. He comes in the second fight, 5 pounds overweight. Japan had it with his bullshit. They felt like he didn't respect, Japan's cultures or rules, and they banned him for life from competing in Japan after that. Luis Pantera Nari. Then here comes Naoya Inoue, and Luis Pantera Nari, end up beating their former hero, the Japanese champion, that was undefeated twice. So when Naoya Inoue and Shingo, his father, petitioned Japan to lift the ban on Luis Pantera Nari, they opened up the Tokyo Arena that sits 55,000 people. It's because Japan want to get back on Mexico. Because
That's
Mexico
crazy.
came in and did that. So they lift the ban and they allowed the fight to happen. And then he almost shocks the world and drops Naoya Inoue in the first round. Naoya Inoue, that was something I had to see for myself. I knew that he was battle tested, but you don't know how does a fighter respond after they get knocked down for the first time? How do they come back from that?
Down? I thought
Ever in his career.
Really? I don't know why I thought Nonito knocked him down in their fight.
No. Naoya Inoue has won 93% of all his rounds. He's only lost like maybe 6 rounds in his career. Where that you see like Terrence Crawford was coming into that Sean Porter fight in the 6th round. Sean Porter was winning the fight on the scorecards. Lomachenko gave away all 5 rounds to Teofimo Lopez in their fight. Tank Davis was losing that fight against Mario Barrio coming into the 6th. So you can get any champion you want. Statistically, Naoya Inoue loses 1 round every 4 fight. But he really doesn't. He lost the most rounds he ever lost against Nonito Donaire, which was 3 or 4 rounds. And that's basically it.
Yeah.
There's been no other fight where he has had to come back in the fight. He went through the World Series boxing tournament. Stretch Payano beat Rodriguez, that was undefeated, my Puerto Rican fighter. He's introduced a lot of fighters to their first time ever being knocked out. Let's just remember, right, that Omar Narvaez had 43 fights coming in to fight a kid that had 6 professional fights. 7 professional fights. You have 43 fights, and you win against Nonito Donaire, which is your only loss, and you went 12 rounds with him. So Omar's only loss out of 43 professional fights is fighting the Hall of Famer Nonito Donaire and going 12 rounds with him. Yeah. They asked him, you want to put up your belt against a 19-year-old kid with only 7 fights, 5'5" Japanese fighter. And you got 43 professional fights, and you've been the champion for over 4.5 years, and you've been undefeated for over 10. Right? And they say a kid with 7 fights. 7 fights. Oh, and by the way, in 43 professional fights, you have never tasted the canvas. Omar Narvaez has never been knocked down in his entire career, not once. Naoya Inoue.
Okay, bro, but that's a small waist. Them dudes ain't punching like that. We know that. Like,
what do you mean? Naoya Inoue's punching like that.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right, well then tell him to go to 26. I want to see Nick Ball. Him punch Nick Ball like that. That's all I want to see.
Hey. That's exactly what they said about Stephen Kubo Fulton. Stephen Kubo Fulton said, bro, you mean to tell me you got the little guy coming up to my weight division, and his very first fight, he's going to fight me, that I'm undefeated, I have 2 belts, and you think I'm scared of this small Japanese guy, that he's coming up from 118? I guess you guys don't understand that this is my division at 122. and then, so he goes out to Japan. He didn't win a single round. He got shut out and then brutally knocked out. He didn't win a second.
He gonna come to Rider season, and you know Rider season's 50-50. This is where everybody gets exposed.
Well, if I could see if his fights were close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a real fight.
No. Yeah, but Stephen Kubo Fulton was in a real fight. He got wiped down.
Nah, shout out to, I didn't know who he was, to be honest, cool boy Steph. But he didn't have nothing for anyway.
He didn't have nothing.
Anyway, stretched him for real.
Bad.
But yeah, man.
And you're right. I think that he needs to go up.
It's gonna be a problem. If he could beat 26, geez, bro. He gonna be like one of the best of this era.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. Well, watch this. The other day I was breaking this down a little while ago, right? And I was saying to myself, okay, Nick Ball is 126 pounds. He's 5'6", right? Espinoza at 126 pounds. He's 6'1", right? Okay. Tank Davis is 5'5" at 135 pounds. He even fought upwards to 140. Yeah. He's 5'5". Naoya Inoue is 5'5". He's exactly the same height as Tank Davis. And he's fighting in a much bigger weight division than Nick Ball at 126. So now it all just depends if he can pack on the weight right.
The 26? Yeah, he should be able. Where did Inoue start? 15?
No, 108.
108? Oh, shoot. All right, that's a lot of weight, man.
He came from 108. He jumped over 112. He went 115, 118, 122. He's 4 pounds from 126.
He trying to beat Pacquiao.
No, he's just doing it way better than Pacquiao.
What do you mean? Pacquiao's the 8 division champ, bro. Chill. 8 division.
That's phony baloney.
Never going up 8. Well, Pacquiao went up 8. We know that.
Yeah, he went up 8 weight classes. Yeah, you can't take that away from him. He didn't win belts in all of them, but he did fight in 8. So
yeah, that's gangster.
Yeah, it is. That's crazy.
It's
amazing what steroids can do for you.
Yo, I don't know. He might have been on it for real. He might have been. You didn't want to fight Floyd. You didn't want to do the.
Yeah, that's what Floyd said. That's what Floyd said. He said he didn't want to take the fight because he didn't want to submit for 5 years to drug testing, so it didn't look good for him.
He didn't want to do Olympic style drug testing where they
and then all of a sudden, when he does submits to the Olympic style drug testing, it just so happens to be that fight was the one that he looked the worst in. He looked the slowest in Manny Pacquiao. He didn't look as sharp when they finally gave him a fight where that he was tested properly.
Yeah,
So,
man,
and then he says, I had a bad
money.
night that night.
Your very next fight,
you turn into Manny Pacquiao when you're back in the Philippines fighting. You turn back into him.
He beat
he did.
The next, yeah, I think he beat.
He turned right back into Manny Pacquiao when there was no more drug testing.
You're right, man. Then he got floored by Marquez.
Yo, he was in the grass. He had the greatest steroids in him on that night too. He just got stupid, and Marquez fought him one too many times and timed him. What was that? The 9,000th time he was fighting him?
Yeah, I thought Marquez won a few of them, but Bob had to keep his golden child. Pacquiao. That guy.
I don't know. I don't. Everybody. I'm just waiting for the day that they finally tally up Manny Pacquiao's career and induct him into the Hall of Fame, because he hasn't been inducted to the Hall of Fame because he doesn't have 5 years retired. A boxer has to have 5 years retired without a boxing match scheduled. Then they'll nominate you. When that day happens, I hope me and you are still doing these damn shows, because on that day, you better believe it, I'm going to inbox you like 100 times. Boxing North, get on right now. We going to talk about it, right? Yeah. Because as soon as the Hall of Fame, because a lot of people want to argue with me on this, and I'm just like, watch what happens. Hall of Fame's going to bring him in. They're going to go, all these other belts are bullshit. They're going to scrape that away. They're going to look at what he has left, and he's going to be a 6th division world champion, which is fucking amazing. Which is amazing because he technically beat Floyd.
Yeah.
He still beats Floyd with the 6.
Yeah. He just hasn't beat as many champions as Floyd. I think Floyd got the most champs.
23
or
26, 23. Yeah.
I think he says 28, but it's not 28.
No,
Floyd
because
funny with it.
No, Floyd is funny with it. He wants to count interim champions he also beat.
Yeah.
You can't do that, Floyd. You're not getting credit for that belt, that dude. Yeah, he wanted. Okay, you're lucky Zab Judah was a champion before you beat him, because that belt you beat Zab Judah for, that belt was trash, and it was so much trash. In fact, Floyd didn't accept it.
Right.
But legitimately, Zab Judah was a real world champion just before the Floyd Mayweather fight.
Nah, he was.
He had a real belt.
Was a really good fighter. Zab had a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Zab was just the type of fighter that he believed that his God-given talent was going to carry him, and how dare anybody stand up to box the almighty Zab Judah. He was too much full of himself. He had too much God-given talent, and he didn't train as hard as he should have. Had he put in hard work and dedication with his God-given talent, Zab Judah probably would have been just on the level with it, like a Mayweather. He had just as much as skills.
No doubt. Yeah.
All he did, what he lacked, was training like Mayweather.
Yeah, his temperament for sure.
Shout out to
Marshall. He said, "You may disagree, but I think Zhilei Zhang is a top 10 heavyweight." No, he is.
He is a top 10 heavyweight
for sure, brother. If you want to know, he's still talking about this big guy, giant. His record is 50 wins, 36 KOs, 2 losses. I've never seen him, bro. I mean,
he's gonna probably get hurt. He's gonna probably get hurt when he gets into real fighters, because those giant dudes don't move well.
The Chitlin Disruptor in the building. I think it's the first time I see you, bro. Welcome to the channel. He said Freud gay feather beat on a bunch of weight drained old guys past their prime. I disagree, bro.
At the end of his career.
Yeah, exactly. Floyd, if you look at Pretty Boy, which a lot of you guys don't,
oh my God, Floyd he was a monster.
Was stopping dudes in their primes. Was beating the crap out of dudes, and that's what got him to money. Like, you had to go through Pretty to see money, man. And
Yo,
Floyd, Pretty Boy stage with Top Rank was a monster.
I remember my dad was talking to like this guy, and I was young, and they were watching a Floyd Mayweather fight. And my dad had told the guy, "You don't understand, Floyd." He said, "Floyd Mayweather now has to allow people to hit him because he's so good, because he has to give you the illusion that somebody might be able to beat him. Because if he keeps beating you guys the way he does, nobody's going to want to fight him.
Yeah.
He has to give you guys like, oh, look, this guy gave him a bloody nose one time."
Right.
And
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Show
Because
some.
my dad was like sitting there going, if Floyd really wanted to outshine you guys, one of these days he's gonna really did it. And he did it to Arturo Gotti. And after he did that to Arturo Gotti, the boxing world went, yo, in boxing history, when have you ever seen a WBC world champion, a recognized WBC world champion, not land one punch in a round? Not a jab, not he couldn't touch Floyd.
Yeah. Gotti had big troubles with him. Like, he was totally outmatched.
I mean, really bad. And Floyd, and that's Gotti is a guy that went to war with Mickey Rourke. I mean, like wars. Like, at least he's gonna touch you. For being a champion, at least I'm gonna be able to touch you. Yo, he couldn't touch Floyd.
Yeah, Floyd was that good, man.
Yo, that was just and then Floyd had to like dull it down because he wasn't getting, his phone wasn't ringing.
Yeah, you're right, man.
It wasn't ringing. He was just doing too much. So, and then now he had to like let Oscar De La Hoya punch him. He had to let these guys hit him.
Yep.
Because if he didn't want to, bro, I'm trying to tell you. And that's something that my father was like, you guys don't understand. He's so much good, in fact, that he has to take away from himself to make it a little give you a little bit, you know,
a little bit of
because
hope
when
he might,
whenever he was in trouble, he really showed you his talent. Remember when everybody thought he was a down on the scorecards or whatever against what's his name there, that Diego Corrales came back in the fight against.
Oh, right, the first Castillo, not
Castillo, right?
Yeah.
Yo,
Castillo. A lot of people thought he lost that fight.
I don't know why a lot of people thought that Floyd ran in that fight. He never ran from Castillo in that fight. Show me anywhere in that fight Floyd Mayweather ran from him. Just one round.
Yeah.
Yo, he legitimately stood in front of Castillo like this and was just slipping shit. And the announcer was saying, kudos for Mayweather for recognizing what he needs to do and executing it. Yo, Mayweather was like, yo, but Castillo knocked his tooth out.
Yeah, Castillo was tough. Yo, he's another guy.
Yo, when I saw Mayweather's tooth come out of his mouth, you saw Mayweather's tooth go. I was like, oh shit, he just knocked out Mayweather's tooth.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy. Yo, you never seen Mayweather with that missing tooth, did you? Money can pay for a tooth overnight, huh?
Yep. Same with Maidana. I think Maidana got one too, but he has.
Yeah, you never seen Mayweather with that injury, that tooth out. When have you ever seen a picture of him with it, that when he knocked his tooth out? Because we clearly saw the tooth flying out of his mouth in slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he definitely got his tooth knocked out.
That's a testament to Floyd's chin. Like, we never seen him down either.
No, man, he had an iron chin too. Yeah, but he had things, right? To be perfectly honest with you, Floyd is probably the greatest technical boxer I've probably witnessed. I admired what he did as a fighter a lot, but I have to admit that if I was teaching one of my kids in my gym a fighting style, I would never teach him the Mayweather style, because I explained to my kids, unless you were born with the cat-like reflexes, the eye-to-eye coordination, the reason why he throws punches, unless you has all his attributes, you're not going to be able to pull off his style.
Yeah.
The reason why he got away with a lot of the shit he got away with, because he was like a cat. Bro, he would, and he had unbelievable movement. His footwork was superior. His hand speed was out of this world. And then he put it all together with this, with an iron chin and a gas tank that wouldn't fucking get tired. Like the
Yep,
gods
it's true,
blessed
man.
him. The gods blessed him with everything. With everything. Sometimes you see a fighter, he has one or two of those traits. He legitimately had everything. It wasn't fair. He but kudos to him because gods can bless you with all that, but who's to say that you don't turn into a drug dealer, end up in jail, and the world never sees you?
Right?
Good for him for recognizing what he should have been and becoming the best at what you should. You know what I mean? He didn't miss his calling. I tell you that much.
Yeah, he didn't.
You know,
He said,
so
Nikola Valoviv, I don't know what his name is, was slow as hell, but he has a lot of durability and power. What do you think about this Fury and Usyk, man? How you think that rematch is gonna go down?
same way, same
Got
fight,
Usyk winning.
same fight. Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. Like I can't bet against the dude who don't know how to lose. Like just don't know how to lose. Like he was losing that fight, and he figured it out before Tyson could figure out his next adjustment. And I just think Tyson Fury, I don't know what he's gonna do different other than maybe come in a little heavier this time and
Nothing.
use his weight. But then he'll be slower. But shout out to Tyson Fury. I mean, this guy's made
Listen,
a career off
I'm
his resurgence with Deontay Wilder fights.
yeah.
And he's made a bag, crazy bags. I think this is it, man. I think we're seeing the end of that era. You know, we saw Wilder doesn't look the same. AJ got put down by Dubois. I think Usyk's the last domino on the board, man, to fall. And Usyk's going to end that era of heavyweights.
Look, I'm glad that Usyk is opening the eyes to these guys that were claiming to be the best heavyweights in the world. You know, it goes to show you that, yeah, the Gypsy King fought against Deontay Wilder, the most strongest puncher I've ever seen in the sport of boxing, but with the less skills. And it goes to show you that he had a lot of problems against Deontay Wilder when people like Parker and Zhang blew him out the water, like they don't respect the man no more, right? And they realize that he's only a one-trick pony, right? So, but Usyk is showing that he can actually box.
Yep.
And what's going on here, I even took it a step further. I believe that Usyk's coaching team is way better than Tyson Fury's coaching team. I don't
Oh,
think
really?
Tyson Fury even has a good world-class coach. He
He
got
Sugar
these
Hill?
guys, huh?
No, he got
He's
Sugar
never
Hill.
listen, okay.
Nah,
Okay.
we can't. I know Sugar Hill ain't no Emanuel Stewart, but he do got the tutelage. Like he got the, you know what I'm saying? Emanuel Stewart, he's right there with him.
No, Sugar Hill ain't no Emmanuel Stewart, bro.
Yeah,
But
he ain't Emanuel
but
Stewart, but I mean Usyk's camp too is not. I'm not going to disrespect them and say they're not the greatest, but I mean
They're-
his coach.
Usyk's camp coach is way better, I think, in
I
their
don't know, man.
and
Who else they
their
got, though?
approach.
You gotta look
You-
at substance though. Who else they got? Like if you just
Yo,
build
you know
one
what
dude,
you know what I legitimately seen over there with Tyson Fury? This is what I see in my head, bro. I mean, I can't get out of it. This is exactly what I see. You're looking good, champ. Yep, hit the bag, champ. You're looking good, champ. You're doing great, champ. That's right, champ. A bunch of yes men.
Nah, Sugar Hill's not that dude. You see the other stuff. You ain't seen the Sugar Hills though. Sugar Hill, that he getting in dude's face. He just like Emmanuel. Like what the F
He
you
want to
doing?
take off his shirt and be in the ring with Tyson Fury. Yeah, I don't, man. Listen, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. What you like you said? What changes for Tyson Fury? What changes?
Yeah, he can't take his foot off the gas this fight. You know, he was playing around, doing all that foolishness. I'm telling you, man, if he play around with Usyk, he getting one of
Did
these.
not really fight her.
Oh, big fight. One punch. That is it. Forget about the count. It is over.
It's gonna be over, and then next year we're gonna be talking about Daniel Dubois being the #1 heavyweight in the world to fight Usyk for a rematch.
Yeah, I can see
Undisputed
that.
Part 2.
Yeah, but he has to beat Parker now because Parker beat him.
Parker never beat Dubois. This is the first
No.
time. Parker beat Wilder and Zhang.
Yeah,
He got 2 big wins.
right. So, I mean, I'm not just willing to count Parker out of this fight like Dubois is gonna be there.
No. I'm just saying
After,
Dubois.
yeah.
Dubois also trending up pretty. He's trending up too. Like I feel like Joseph Parker, he got to stay out. His head got to be off the line, bro. You can't let.
Yeah.
Because Dubois, he showed me the jab. Like I didn't think his jab was that good. I thought AJ would.
No,
be able
I
to
always
keep
knew he
the
had a good
range.
jab.
But AJ couldn't get around his jab. His jab was just way better than AJ.
No,
Obviously,
Dubois. Yeah,
he's coming
Dubois always
behind
had a
that thing.
great jab. I felt for heavyweight. What I questioned was his chin and his will to continue. Whether he had some quit in him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I
Right,
question
yeah.
about Dubois. And then
Yes, yeah.
those are the answers that he answered for me.
Yes.
When he came into those last 2 fights, coming into the AJ fight, I was already becoming a fan. I was believing in him way better and more than after like that Usyk fight and the fights that he didn't look so great in.
Right.
So the way he knocked out AJ like that, even though Anthony the Destroyer Ruiz knocked out AJ, I never seen nobody dominate AJ like that.
Nah, Ruiz
You know.
didn't even knock out AJ like that. It just got waved
No,
up.
and
Like,
one he put his forearm right here and like pushed him down.
yeah, this fight.
His
ended with
legs were
AJ on
gone.
his
He
face
couldn't
down,
stand.
Man. Yeah, like this
His
was
legs were
bad.
gone. This is the
Right.
time where I saw AJ banging. Like he thought he had Dubois backing up, and Dubois said, "What are
Yeah.
you doing?"
Yeah, Dubois.
Yo.
Yeah, I don't know why he went after Dubois like that, but I mean, it's obviously a desperate move. He thought he had him hurt, but nah, man. I never like Wilder doing the spinneroonie and Zhang knocking him out, and then AJ in front of 90,000 people getting put on his face. I mean, Fury had already lost to Usyk at that point, so I was like, man, the era's done. Like,
Yeah.
it's a new, and this is fine. This is fine if there's a new changing of the guard. Like, we need that in boxing. We need the new guys to come up and win. But
Yeah, and I mean,
I
if
just didn't
Usyk
think it
wins,
was Usyk guy. I didn't think it would be Usyk. Like,
no, you didn't think it would be him.
nah.
I mean, okay, let's look at the other way. What if Tyson Fury wins? What is he going to defend the titles? No.
No,
Probably going to retire.
He's gonna hype up AJ and try to get AJ to get his profile back up so they can do the UK fight. That's what they've always wanted.
Yeah.
That big money fight in the UK at Wembley Stadium. Tyson Fury and AJ.
You can still get that big money fight in Wembley Stadium. You put AJ against Deontay Wilder, people tune in to see that again because we always wanted to see it.
I know,
Even though they're
man.
both on a loss, you still put those 2 names together, they'll sell.
Yeah, I feel like Turkey Al-She got to give us that one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, Uncle Ruckus, he says Wilder should have never fired his coach. Yeah, man. Mark Breland was good for Wilder because he taught Wilder the 1-2 and how to perfect it. I don't know what Malik Scott's doing with Wilder. It seems like he's trying to teach him other
Ballet.
things.
How to spin around in a circle. What the fuck is that? What kind of boxing technique is that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I never seen nothing like that before. I was shocked. Like I saw him in the videos doing it as a joke, and then like when he did it in the fight, I was like, man, like
if you train
over there,
if you train with bad habits, you're gonna create bad habits in the ring.
Yeah.
Don't
Wilder,
train like that.
I think Wilder should go down to like the Bridgerweight division.
What?
Win a title there, man. I don't think his punch resistance is there anymore. I think he gets slaughtered by all the heavyweights now. Like even Big Baby Miller, Ruiz even probably beats him right now.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
I
man.
listen, when you got a right hand like that, I never can count a person like that out of fight. You
Yeah,
got
but
a
that's the
game changer.
problem. He landed it in the Parker fight, and it did nothing. Like he's
No, he didn't
slap
land it like
punching
that.
now. Oh, cause he's slap punching. This is what I'm saying. Mark Breland
Yeah.
had that down. Like Mark Breland
Yeah.
had him the jab and the coming over, turning
Yeah.
over his shots. I don't like Malik Scott's trying to teach him how to box, and he's not a boxer, man. It's kinda weird,
That's
man.
incredible.
Kinda weird.
It's incredible how throughout Wilder's career, I actually saw him get worse as he got richer and more
That's
famous.
true. Yeah, that's true.
When he was younger, he was throwing the 1-2. He looked better, at least, and he was going out there and going forward, and now he's just like showing you the right hand, just showing it to you, like just
Yeah.
trying to like wound up one shot hit.
Yeah.
Like he got worse as his career
Yeah.
progressed.
Yeah, the Wilder era was fun while it lasted, though. I mean, all those knockouts. He defended the title 10 times or something like that. 10 title defenses.
That's the last time the Americans had at least a world champion, heavyweight.
Yeah,
And I was thankful for that. You know,
yeah. I mean, man, we don't even know who's gonna pick up that mantle next.
no,
Kind of thought it was Jared, but I don't think.
I mean Jared. Listen. There's been fighters that have lost and went on to have stellar careers. You know, Lomachenko lost his second professional fight for a world title. In his fourth
Yeah,
fight,
with Celine.
he got the world title. You see, Roberto Ramirez loses his first fight. There's a lot of fighters that have, yes, lost fights. Dubois, not a better example.
Joyce, yep.
Heavyweights, you know what I'm saying? Losing fights, turning their career around, becoming world champion. So,
Mhm.
although Baby lost, got knocked out, this speaks to whether or not you want to be a fighter. And unfortunately for Big Baby, out of his own mouth, he said all he wants is the money. He doesn't care about legacy. Doesn't care about anything else. I don't think his heart's really into boxing. I think he's here for a paycheck because, out of his own words,
Yeah.
he doesn't want to be heavyweight champion of the world. So since he doesn't even back himself, I'm not going to back him.
Right.
So, all we got for right now is one prospect, Torres, and I don't know how long it'll be
Richard
before
Torres.
he's ready for an opportunity. He's still a prospect. He needs a lot of work, but he's on the little side of the heavyweight, shorter side, but
Yeah,
he's pretty strong. He looks pretty strong, so we'll see. But that's for the Americans. Like, that's all we got.
Mhm.
We don't have any champions past 154, but yet the Americans, we're so cocky and arrogant because we do have some amazing fighters, but we're just, if you was to really think about it, just to the rest of the world, we must be little. We must be little because our biggest champion is 154.
Yeah, I see what you say, but
We must be little.
That's so far from the truth because y'all probably the biggest people on the planet, to be honest. Yeah,
Right.
Being honest here.
Yeah, and
man.
they're looking at us like these guys are little, man. They don't got no middleweights, no welterweights, no cruiserweights, no heavyweights. They ain't had a belt up there since fucking Jamel Charlo and them. That was it. And Deontay Wilder's era. That was it. That's why I was happy. That's it. But other than that, man, I mean, them people must really look at us like we little as shit.
I do, man.
Who's one of your best fighters? 135 pounds. Gervonta Davis, 5'5". Really? Like, that's your best fight? What? Like, They must look at us like we and like you said, the truth is, like if you look at our men, we're ginormous, like football player, American guys, like
everybody's
basketball
playing
player.
different sports. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah,
All the athletes are playing basketball or football.
yeah. We're fucking little as shit.
Nobody's
And
baseball now. You got the baseball players are like 6'6".
now them hockey boys is
The
beast,
hockey guys,
man.
yeah, those guys are big too.
They big boys, bro.
Shout
Hell
out to
yeah.
Damon Marshall, man, for rocking out with me. I know it's early over there in the UK, brother. Appreciate the love, man. I'll show you some love.
Inside my heart, I want the fighters. I want to see the fighters.
We want over here. We just want the fighters, man. We just want the real ones. So thanks for rocking out, brother. But yeah, man, I'm gonna wrap this up, man. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Want to know where they can find you at? Let them know where they
Oh,
can find
you guys can find me at Round One Sports Talk on YouTube, Facebook, and now on Kick and on Instagram. You can check me out, Round One Sports Talk. I'm Edwin. Thank you for having me on. Boxing Talk Up North. And you guys in the chat, please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right here. This is where you'll get your boxing news and live boxing content.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you again for checking in with me, brother.
Absolutely.
Always a good time, man.
Always a good time. Always love. Hey, listen, we have a dinner date because on the day that Naoya Inoue enters the 126 and Nick Ball takes that fight, me and you, we're going to be right there.
We're doing a fight party. We're doing live chat, fight chat, whatever.
Oh, we going live, baby.
Yeah. It's going to be a barn burner for sure.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why we do what we do, because we love this thing called boxing. I love you guys, man. Take care. Have a great night. And I will check you out on a later date. My man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So we just gonna close it out here. I just wanted to show you guys my millions profile. Just started up. Oh man, I don't know how it's gonna look. Yeah, it's not as good as I thought it was. But yeah, this is my millions profile. You can check me out on Millions. Ryan Fraser or Boxing Talk Up North. You can just search it. Shout out to Millions. They've been showing lots of support, man, for the athletes. I'm going to have a few interviews up on there soon with some athletes. I know Arthur Betterby is on there. The cruiserweight, I forget his last name. Noel's on there. Shoot. A bunch of Canadians on there, so I'm definitely going to be interviewing them. But, yeah, shout out to Millions. They showing the boy love. So, yeah, go on over there and check it out, man. Millions in the building. But, yeah, you gonna head on out. So you guys know, as always, I like to drop my little rush hour clip before we end. But let's go.
Yeah. What? I will slap you if you don't move this car. I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna slap you.